Hello, Pseudonymonic here, back once again with an episode of The Tea Drinker, and this episode we're looking at the Bluebird Tea Company. Now, they are available online, but they do have shops in Brighton, Bristol, Manchester, London and Tunbridge Wells. I went to their shop in Angel, which is in Camden Passage. And I was able to purchase their top 10 tea sampler pack, which is what I'm going to have a look at now. I'm doing this 5 at a time, and glue it all back together and find out which of these were my favourites. You've seen my videos before, you kind of know the drill now. So in this segment we're going to be looking at Bluebird's Great British Cuppa, which is the house blend, which is a breakfast tea. So it's an Assam, Ceylon and Chinese Yunnan black tea mix. That should be nice and strong. It's a nice load of flavours in that. We've got the Earl Grey Creme. Earl Grey, one of my favourite varieties of tea. We have Sri Lankan black tea. It's got a hint of vanilla as well, so that'll be interesting. See how the sort of aromatics of the Earl Grey sort of mesh with the vanilla taste. We've got Honeybee Beautiful, which is a Rooibos or Red Bush honey bush blend. It's also got a few other things. It's got cornflowers, calendula petals, chamomile nettle. So this one is a decaffeinated tea. And now we've got a couple of mint flavoured ones. We've got nearly Nirvana. We've got Chinese green tea, jasmine silver needle white tea and spearmint and jasmine, and some orange blossom as well. So that's going to be an interesting flavour combination. And we have Mojitea, which is a green tea, peppermint and lime flavour mix. So now we know what flavours we're going to be tasting. Let's start brewing. Okay, so I've been brewing the teas for a little while now, a few minutes each. They've turned a lovely colour. We've got sort of dark brown for the Great British Cuppa and the Earl Grey. The Honeybush tea is a lovely sort of reddish brown mahogany colour, and the two peppermint teas are a sort of light yellow green colour, unusual for a sort of peppermint blend. Usually in my experience mint teas tend to be a lot darker, but then again that's probably because they're blended with white tea and green tea, so they won't be as dark. There's a lovely smell coming from the tea as well, especially the Rooibos Honeybush. There's a lovely pollen-y smell coming from it. Not really from the other teas though, but definitely from the Red Bush Honeybush mix. Okay, so we've had a sort of first look at the tea. Now's my favourite part of the taste test, the actual tasting. Okay, we're going to start with Bluebird's Great British Cuppa. Lovely, strong tea, malty type scent coming off of it. Obviously that's from the Assam tea, so you know, Assam has that classic malty scent to it. A little bit biscuity. So let's give this a try. Quite strong. A little astringent on the tongue. A bit of a dry mouthfeel afterwards, but very punchy. Definitely the sort of tea you want to get you up in the morning. Slight bitterness, but that's a sort of combination of, you want something that's going to hit the spot and sort of get you out of bed. Yes, very, very good cup of tea this. Nice strong flavours coming through. Next one, we've got Earl Grey Cream. First of all, aromas, perfect, spot on, nice, slightly citrus, slightly floral aroma of the classic Earl Grey. Not really getting the vanilla aroma just yet. Lovely colour. So let's give this a try. There is a slight vanilla sweetness to it, not too overwhelming. There's a slight bitterness in the taste as well. There's definitely the citrus notes from the bergamot. A little bit too floral for my taste. And again, a very, very good variety of Earl Grey. A bit of a bitter aftertaste as well, which kind of lets it down. But not too overly sweet with the vanilla. Okay. Next one, we have Honeybee Beautiful. Very lovely honey scented, floral, really powerful floral scent. Quite sweet tasting, not cloyingly sweet though, just sweet enough. You wouldn't want to put any sugar or anything. Slight honey taste to it. Lots of floral notes in the taste. It's no bitterness as well, which is good. Doesn't have the kind of earthy herbiness that you usually expect from a red bush blend. Very sort of pollen-y sort of flavour to it. A very nice cup of tea. Okay, now we're moving on to the minty blends. We've got Nearly Nirvana. So there's an overwhelming smell of jasmine. That sort of floral scent that you get with a jasmine tea blend. Not really getting the sort of spearmint though. It's more of the jasmine scent than the actual sort of mintiness. There's a bit of a bitter taste with this, but then again you have the floral notes of the jasmine. And now on the sort of just on the aftertaste, I'm getting that spearmint coming through. Quite, it's more of an afterthought than sort of hitting you. You get the jasmine when you first drink it, and then you get the spearmint sort of underneath it, like an undertone. Little bit of a bitter aftertaste though. It's a little too strong on my palate, I think. That might be the silver needle tea, but it's quite strong. But it's a sort of good afternoon pick-me-up, I think. Maybe for after a meal or something like that. And the last one is the Mojitea, which is green tea and peppermint and lime. Definitely citrus notes coming through here. Again, definitely some peppermint too. So let's give this a taste. Oh. Definite peppermint coming through in the taste. Not quite sure about the lime. Not really getting the citrusy. It's a very good peppermint blend, I have to say. It leaves a sort of cool feeling in my mouth, which is what you want from a mint tea. There's a sort of strongness from the green tea. It's not too bitter. It's nicely sort of counterbalanced by the peppermint. I'm not really getting the lime. I should be getting some stronger citrus notes like the bergamot in the Earl Grey. Not to say this isn't a good tea. So, these were all quite good cups of tea, which is a good thing. Some were a bit strong for my taste. I really did like the redbush, the rubus, the honeybee beautiful. So I'm going to set up the next half, the next 5, and we'll see which one from the next section is my favourite. Okay, and welcome to the second half of our Bluebird Tea Company tasting selection pack. And we're going to kick off things with the gingerbread chai. Now, instead of a sort of Indian black tea, this is a rooibos or rooibos or redbush base, but it still has the sort of spice blend, you know, ginger, cardamom, cinnamon you'd expect from a chai tea, but without all the caffeine. Next we've got a morning kick, which is a yerba mate, which is the South American herbal blend. It's also got lemongrass and ginger. This is a sort of morning pick-me-up, a sort of alternative to the breakfast tea. Next we have something that I'm looking forward to. It's a strawberry lemonade. It's more of a tisane than an actual tea. It's got lots of lovely fruit flavours in it. Apple, elderberry, lime leaves, pineapple. So it could be quite sweet and fruity. Then we've got Skinny Minny, which is, I think, is a digestive tea. And it's an oolong base. And it's got ginger, fennel seeds, orange peel. Also pu'er tea and Siberian ginseng. So this is kind of a diet sort of maybe stomach troubled, soothing tea, sort of alternative to peppermint. And at the end we've got Dozy Girl, which has chamomile, lemon, and of course lavender, which is kind of one of those help you to sleep teas. No caffeine, just sort of herbal essences and things like that. Again, not a tea, more a tisane. Tisane. Okay, so let's brew up and have our first look at what these teas look like. Okay, so I've been steeping the tea for a little while. The majority of them are sort of a brownish, reddish brown colour. Some lovely smells coming off it. The yerba mate is a slightly lighter colour, sort of orangey, yellowy green colour. Like I said, there's some delightful smells, not so strong as the first part. So let's get into the tasting. Okay, we're going to kick things off with the gingerbread chai, which is like I said before, a redbush rooibos mix. Lovely spicy scent, sort of very sort of wintry, Yule-y, Christmassy, very biscuity as well. That's the gingerbread. So let's give this a taste. quite light tasting. Little sting from the ginger. There's an earthiness from the rooibos, and I can feel a little bit of tingle on the tongue from the gingerbread, which is lovely. Nice, biscuity, wholesome, not overwhelmingly spicy. Really sort of a comfort drink. This is the sort of drink you'd have for a sort of a cold night in with a plate of biscuits and a good book. Okay, this is the Morning Kick, which is the yerba mate blend. It's also got lemongrass and ginger, and straight away getting a lot of citrus notes. Quite citrusy. Sort of got that taste of the lemongrass. Not really getting the ginger though, not like the gingerbread chai, where you could feel a little bit of sting on your tongue and the back of your throat. This is more sort of subtle. But this is it's very citrusy, which is it's very good, very refreshing. Not sure if I would swap this out for my breakfast tea though. Might have it sort of mid-morning, sort of a pick-me-up, but for a breakfast tea I think I'd stick with my, you know, traditional black tea brew. This is one I've been looking forward to. This is the strawberry and lemonade, or strawberry lemonade. Lovely fruity scent. I'm getting the sort of berryness of the strawberries, subtle sort of citrus notes. Let's give it a taste. Very fruity, quite tart, not as sweet as I'd imagine. This is more sort of fresh strawberries, not sort of synthetic strawberries that, you know, it's sometimes you come to get. I can taste the apple as well. There's apple in there. Quite fruity, quite floral. A little bit of sharpness. Like I said, not as sweet. Quite fizzy, quite refreshing. Sort of thing you'd have with a sort of cakes and tea and things like cakes and sandwiches on a sort of afternoon tea type thing. Alternative to your Earl Grey with your sandwich. Or the sort of thing you'd have like an alternative version of Pimm's. Yes, that's it. For the non-drinker, this would be a good alternative for Pimm's. Right, next is the Skinny Minny, which is a tea-based sort of palate cleanser, sort of thing you drink for an upset stomach. Quite earthy scent. What else has it got in here? So it's got fennel and orange peel and ginseng, so it's a pick-me-up as well as a digestive. Quite herby, quite earthy, kind of very sort of base herbal tea. I'm not getting the sort of pu'er and what else was it? Oolong. I'm definitely getting sort of more the herbal side of it. The fennel taste is there. It's quite subtle, but it blends well with the other ingredients. And last of it all, we have the sleep inductive, sort of relaxant. It's got chamomile and lavender and flowers and lemon verbena. Quite floral. You can smell the lavender straight away. It's more stronger with lavender than I can smell the chamomile, so give it a taste. Surprisingly quite sweet actually. I think that might be the lemon verbena. Quite herby. Tastes a bit like rosemary, but there's no rosemary in it. There's rose petals, but there's no rosemary. So quite floral, quite light on the tongue, quite fruity. I think from all this, from this section in particular, I think my favourite has to be, of course, the strawberry and lemonade. But on the whole, from Bluebird Tea Company's tasting pack, I think the honey bush and red bush mix in the first section is probably my overall favourites. Okay, so if you want to check out Bluebird Tea Company for yourself, I've got the links down below, and they have shops in London, they got in Angel, they've got one coming in Borough now as well, Brighton, Bristol, Manchester, Tunbridge Wells, but all this information is on the website, so go and have a look, check them out, get some tasting, all the links below, all the everything like that. So thank you for watching the Tea Drinker. I've been Pseudonymonic, and I will see you in the next video.